Hey, sports porchers! It's your hockey Jesus, and I'm back with a recap of Game 19. Pittsburgh Penguins at Columbus Blue Jackets. Well, Pittsburgh Penguins fans, I'm afraid there is bad news on the horizon. Yep, that's right. Pittsburgh Penguins continue to skid with a loss tonight in Columbus by a score of 6-2. Good news for the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's why I put them up on the sign. First time they have scored a point, a actual complete win against the Pittsburgh Penguins since December of 2019. The almost 5-year skid is over for the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight as they beat the Pittsburgh Penguins 6-2. And how did they do it? Well, they started from the very beginning. Jari gives up a goal on the very first shot. And actually, that's not all you need to know because there was a few bright spots for Jari. It looked like at some points during this game, he actually did decide to do a little bit of battling uh, in his quest to get back to the number one position for the Pittsburgh Penguins. But I'll be honest with you, he didn't really do himself that many favors. He looked shaky. He looked like every time he was saving the puck, it was an absolute challenge for him. He looked like he was fighting the puck. Like every time it was hitting him, like I would be in goal. Ow, ow, ooh, ow, that hurts. Ow, that hurts. He just did not look like he was attacking the puck. He had no rebound control, and you saw that mostly in that first goal in the third period, which basically put it out of reach when they made it 4-2. Columbus did. I'm not really gonna. I'm not really going to. Sorry, that's my technical director texting me. Let me put him on mute, Mister Technical Director. Don't know what you're doing, and sorry about that, my fans. But where was I? Oh, yeah. Pittsburgh Penguins take it, they score on the first goal. Columbus did. They score again. And Pittsburgh actually made a comeback. At some point, they tied the game. Well, they thought they tied the game. And then they did not tie the game because it was 2-2, and they take a goal off. Sully, there's no way he can challenge that. It's clear that Nieto's skates were in side of Merzlinkin. Yeah, he was outside of the blue zone, but not entirely. They're going to call that every time. You would want it against your goalie if you were in net. So it's a tough goal. It's a tough pill to swallow. Chari picked up the garbage there and put it in, but it did not count. And they didn't tie the game, and they really never really regained any semblance of a comeback at that point. Columbus scored to make it 3-2. Actually, the Penguins did tie the game 2-2 on a power play goal by Bunning. By the way, that first power play was absolutely awful tonight, but the second power play showed you how it can be done. And I noticed since they traded Lars Eller just a few days ago that they've had a tendency to keep that first power play out there a little bit longer. And I don't like that. I think they need to get both power plays out there. And tonight, obviously, it had dividends that proved with Bunning getting the garbage right there. That's all you have to do. Um, so anyway, they tied the game at 2-2, but it wasn't soon after that before the end of the period, Columbus made it 3-2. It made it 4-2 right at the beginning of the third period and turned into pretty much a shit show after that, getting the 6-2. That sixth goal was an empty netter. They had a power play chance and they pulled the goalie. It's what you have to do at that point. You're never going to win, but I understand why that happens. And that's how Columbus got the 6 goals. What about this game really kind of concerned me? Well, first, let me say that the Penguins are starting to bring up some of their younger talent. Ponomarev and Pickering were both called up today. Unfortunately, neither of them played, which, you know, I'm sorry, but if you're going to bring those guys up, you're going to have to play them, especially with Letang being sick. And I know, that Owen Pickering is a left-handed defenseman. I know. I'm the hockey Jesus. I know these things. And Letang's a right-handed shot. So you got to play your right-handed guy. But I'm telling you that if they're going to scratch somebody who's a lefty, they got to scratch Graves. Graves was absolutely terrible tonight. He was a -3 with Shea. Those two guys looked like Laurel and Hardy out there on skates. It was absolutely ridiculous the way they were trying to defend the goal. That didn't help Jari any. But Jari definitely was not top of his game. Definitely does still not look like a number one goalie. 100% does not look like he's back as the Jari we know in the season where he had 30 wins. So he's got a long way to come, but those guys aren't helping him. I would absolutely scratch Graves in the next game. Play Owen Pickering up there. Let's see what he's got. If you want to play, I think Grizzlick is okay, but I think he's another guy who's, just a victim of somebody you can get rid of. You don't even need to have him on the team, honestly. And that's really what it leads me to say is who's next? Who's the next to be traded after a loss like this in Columbus? I don't think you can let this go away. And you might be saying to yourself, but hockey Jesus, it's only 2 points. It's only the 19th game of the season. Why does it make a difference? Well, I am glad that you asked, because if the Pittsburgh Penguins would have won tonight, they would be sitting at, a projected 73 to 74 points, which, that doesn't get you near a playoff position, but it puts you in the right trajectory after being at, 60, 65, 67, points. Instead, they get no points, and now they're skidding backwards. They're going back to the 64, 65 point season. That's terrible. That's definitely a top 10 pick, probably a top 5 pick, to be honest with you. Not quite lottery status, but when you stay in the mid 60s, you're definitely thinking about lottery picks and not thinking about playoff positions. And that's why it makes a difference to win these games or at least get a loser point. And you don't want to get a loser point against other Metro teams because then they're still climbing above you. But the magic of the loser point sucks. I hate the loser point so much. That's why you'll hear me say that when the Pittsburgh Penguins win or lose, there are two numbers. And at the 19th game of the season, the Pittsburgh Penguins are 6-13. They have 13 losses. I don't care about that number beside it. They do have 15 points, and that's all you need to know about that. So tonight, the Pittsburgh Penguins lose again. And they are back tomorrow on a back-to-back. They're coming back home to play the San Jose Sharks. Macklin Celebrini plays his first time at PPG Paints Arena against his idol, Sidney Crosby. That is so weird to say, to think that there are guys up in the league now who idolize Sidney Crosby, a guy who we think of as just the next guy. And guess what? He's not the next guy anymore. He has been the guy. He is the guy. And all we can do is sit back and enjoy his greatness because there's not much else to enjoy right now. But the third line tonight, the Drew O'Connor line played with Puljujärvi and Poulin. Great third line tonight. I thought that was the lone bright spot for the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. They should keep that line together. Do not break up that line. The second line was the garbage line tonight. Graves and Shea, like I said, a -3. Malkin a -4. Rust a -3. And Bunning, despite scoring a power play goal, was also a -3. They got to do something about that second line. That is not good enough. And I think I might have been wrong about Bolivier. Yeah, he's actually proven to be pretty good. The sad thing is, if he scores all the goals that he could have scored, he would probably have 10 goals already playing on that first line with Sid. So as many as he scored, he's missed that many too. Go back and watch the tape. I have. It's true. It's damn true. So Pittsburgh Penguins lose tonight for the third time, 6-2. They will be back tomorrow. I'm not going to do a Hockey Jesus tomorrow night, but I will definitely have a quarter of the way through analysis of the Pittsburgh Penguins and the San Jose Sharks game on Sunday for you, my loyal fans. I'll let you know where I think they're headed, and I'll tell you the first 25% of the season, has not been good for the Pittsburgh Penguins. But let's hope they can get better, bring up some young guns, and let's get at it. So I will see you on Sunday. Enjoy the game tomorrow night if you're heading down the Pittsburgh Paints Arena. Catch Macklin Celebrini playing against Sidney Crosby. Let's go, Pens.